The purpose of this video is to simplify the budgeting process. Now, I've taken the entire budgeting process and simplified it down into 4 easy steps that anyone can follow. So let's get started. In order to get control of your finances, you have to develop sound money skills and habits. By creating a detailed budget, this will allow you to track your spending and give your money purpose. It will also loosen the anxiety that you may have over money and give you more control over it. So let's talk about what budgeting is and isn't. Okay, first thing, it's not handcuffs. It's not shackles and chains there to restrict you and sap all the joy out of life. Okay, I want you to view a budget as more like bumpers on a bowling alley. You know, when you go bowling and you see the bumpers that are lined up all the way down, it assures that you're going to hit a pin or two. Let's view budgeting more like that. It's there to kind of keep you from going off the rails. First, decide if you're making your budget on paper, on your computer with, say, Excel, or even a budgeting app. And there are plenty of great budgeting apps out there. Next thing is you have to be on board. You have to go in this with the belief that budgeting is going to work. My guess is that if you're watching this video, you're probably at a point in your life, maybe at a financial crossroads, where you're wanting to get a better control on your money. And for that, I'm glad you're here. And hopefully you'll find this video a very valuable resource and tool to help you accomplish all your budgeting goals. The foundation of your budget is your net income. And your net income is the money that you bring home on your paycheck after taxes. Step 1 is to calculate your net income. Create separate income budget line items for all income that you and anyone that you share finances with make. This could include part-time jobs and side hustles as well. Now, if you have a regular income, I want you to look at the last few months of income and take the lowest amount. The reason I want you to take the lowest amount is you always want to make your budget based on a worst-case scenario, because if you earn more than that, you can always go up from there. Now that you've listed all of your income sources, add them together to get your total net income. That's the number that we're going to use as the basis for our budgeting. Now, the greatest tool that you have to combat debt is your income. Now that we've learned how to calculate our income, the next step is to track our spending. Step 2, track your spending. Now that we've calculated what money we have coming in, now it's time to calculate what money we have going out. It might be helpful to have your last 3 months of bank statements handy for this step. I find it helpful to list your expenses in 2 columns. One column being fixed and the other column being variable. Fixed expenses are the expenses that are the same from month to month. Typically mortgage or your rent, car payment, insurance payments, things of that nature. Variable expense column, that could be things like utilities, groceries, gasoline, etc. So now that we've discussed fixed expenses and variable expenses, let's talk about the essentials. So your essentials are going to be items like housing, so your mortgage or your rent, insurance, childcare, debt repayment, things of that nature. Then we're going to have another area called non-essentials. Those are going to be items like personal spending, entertainment, your fun money. So if you're working to pay off debt, the non-essentials is where you're going to be cutting your expenses from. So now that we've listed out all of our expenses, both fixed and variable, let's add those together and subtract them from our income. That number should equal 0. This is called zero-based budgeting. And basically, zero-based budgeting is just a form of budgeting that has you allocate all of your income towards expenses for needs and wants, for short-term and long-term investing or savings, and debt repayment. The goal of zero-based budgeting is for your income less your expenses to equal 0 at the end of every month. If at the end of the month you find yourself in the negative once you've taken your expenses from your income, well, unfortunately, this is where you're going to have to make some decisions and cut your expenses until you find yourself taking your expenses from your income and equaling 0. Remember those non-essential items? The majority of Americans, 83%, say they overspend at least sometimes, according to NerdWallet. Food is a major reason for overspending. You can see groceries, dining out, clothing are the top 3 expenses for overspending. Those are the items that you're going to be cutting from. So it may be reducing your grocery bill, not eating out as often. Maybe it's eliminating that coffee of a morning. If you still find yourself struggling to make ends meet, you might have to seek overtime at your employment, maybe get a part-time job, or even develop a side hustle to bring in some extra income. Step 3, set realistic goals. By now you would probably have goals that you would like to achieve. The most important thing to do when setting goals is to be realistic when you set them. Be specific in what you want and when you want that particular goal to be achieved by. Also remember to distinguish between short-term savings and long-term savings, or short-term goals and long-term goals. For example, when you go to set a goal, don't say, I want to pay off my credit card. For one, it's not specific, and two, there's no time frame, so it's not measurable. It's a great goal to have. You need to be much more specific in achieving that goal. How about, instead of saying I want to pay off my credit card, say I want to pay off my $2,000 credit card within the next 6 months. See, now you've got an amount, you've got a time frame, and you're much more specific. So that goal should be much more achievable. Step 4, review your budget regularly. Be intentional and track your transactions and make adjustments where needed. Be accountable to your money, be accountable to your goals, but most importantly, be accountable to yourself. This is not an autopilot budget. Emergencies happen, holidays come every year, Christmas falls in December every year. Don't forget seasonal purchases, birthdays, anniversaries, and just special gifts for other people. It takes about 3 to 4 months to really get a hang of your budgeting. So give yourself some grace and keep working on it. The benefits of budgeting far outweigh the effort. Any budget that helps you to hit your goals should be considered a success. You work hard for your income, and my goal for you is for you to be more confident in managing your finances. Developing a budget is one thing, but sticking to it is another. Hold yourself accountable. Follow these steps, even if it seems hard. There will be some bumps in the road, but make adjustments as needed. Keep with it. You're going to find a lot of valuable stuff by following this process. I just want to give a sincere thank you for all those that have taken time out of their day to watch this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot. Till the next time.